Alrighty, there we go.
Okay, I think we're ready to start. It's 8:30 on Sunday. It's pretty chilly for Nebraska in May right now, but that's all right. So I'm Greg Mucklow. I am Pro 5 in the LifeVantage business. I am Shauna's better, smarter half at this point in time. She won't agree with that, but that's the way I do it. So just a little background about myself. I'm a mental health and addictions counselor here in Hastings. I have my own practice right now. But prior to LifeVantage, I worked in an agency. And when we talk about part of the pain that we had before LifeVantage, Sean has talked a lot about her story, about my heart surgery, those type of things. I'm not going to get into that type of stuff tonight. What I'm going to talk about is working 45, 50 hours a week, getting paid for 40. And then also Shauna running our other business, those type of things that we did for a while. And looking at life at that point in time going, how much longer can we keep this up? And that was the reality of it. And so when the LifeVantage opportunity came to us, we watched the video, an introduction video, the ABC video. Science was awesome. The product was awesome. The information was great. It was kind of like, great, we got to take this. And then the business opportunity really kind of came about as well. And Shauna really grabbed a hold of that, and really Shauna was all into it, and I was like, okay, I gotta be there to support her, and what vision do we see with this at that point in time? And so part of that was, I'd like to work the business, but in the reality of it, we're still working. I still got my job I'm working. We got kids at home to take care of, and so part of that pain that LifeVantage helped take away was it gave us more time. And part of my role in that was helping connect Shauna with different people that could use the product and be interested in the business, as well as kind of providing some time for her to be able to do that. And so that was part of the role that I had. And so that pain that came from working 40, 45, 50 hours a week, Shauna working 60 hours a week, those type of things, running around after the kids, that type of stuff. The business opportunity with LifeVantage really took that and gave us some time back and gave us a realistic look into, hey, this could change your life for the better. And since then, like I said, that agency job I had 45, 50 hours a week is now down to 1 day a week. And I really am in control of that, whether I want to do it or not, which is awesome. I have my private practice. That's where I spend most of my time, and I have full control over that. And Shauna, like we said, does LifeVantage full time. And so that's been an awesome part of LifeVantage. Even the better part with that is just all the people we've been able to help and all the people we've been able to give choices to. Really choices and options of, they were in that type of situation, the same situation we were in. They were in similar situations, and we really gave them the option or the realistic possibility of different choices in their life. And some of them have taken that opportunity and really run with it, and others are doing exactly what they want to with the business, and that's awesome. And every day we add more people to that. Every day we change lives. Every day we give people different choices in their life, and that's part of the great thing about the opportunity we've had with LifeVantage, and part of that what we do on a daily basis. So really, that's kind of the part of the story that I wanted to talk about tonight, because, I have that role of really being the support at home, helping at meetings when I can, but really kind of taking care of the kids and helping out at home. And now I get to drive a really cool Jeep around. And so that's pretty awesome as well. So that's been a really neat bonus for us at this point in time. But so that's the story I wanted to go through tonight. That's kind of my deal. So now I'm going to do some announcements for us so we can get on to our main point of this. So I just wanted to welcome everybody. If you're new here, that's awesome. If you've been here for a while, that's great as well. But if you're new here, I really want to say that I'm really proud of you for making the commitment to be on this weekly call or to find this information. These calls are valuable. They really provide some day-to-day operation type things that can go on in your business and help you out there. So we're glad that you're here, proud that you made the commitment to show up. And so speaking of showing up, there's a few things that you need to get on your calendar and make sure you're at this point in time. So one of those is this weekly call every Sunday, the team hustle call. It's on Sundays at 8:30. Goes for a half hour. We try and get to some really day-to-day basic type stuff that we want to get to and provide some value to the team at that point. So every Sunday there's a team hustle call. This July, we have July 19th and 20th. We have Kansas City. It's the Elite Academy. You know, these weekly calls are team-wide. Those Elite Academies are really company-wide and worldwide. You will really, if you make it to that, you will really get your eyes opened to what LifeVantage can really be for you and what the possibilities are. And so those academies provide a great overall vision of the company and some valuable information on where the company is going. Also provides the opportunity to meet some other distributors worldwide, really, in the company, and that's pretty awesome. Some of the people that Shauna and I have met and been able to hang out with. September 7th of this year is going to be the Grand Island Super Saturday, and so put that in your calendar. So that's in September 7th, as well as December 7th is a Super Saturday in Grand Island, and that one's going to be combined with the Christmas party as well. So, and those are able to go in person as well as virtually for those Super Saturdays. So that's just an option for people that aren't able to make it to Grand Island on those dates. So next thing I want to talk about is a recent announcement for the 10-year anniversary. That's the Anniversary Mania. So now through the end of June of 2019, all business enrollment packs, your silver, gold, or platinum packs, get a free start kit. Now that's a $50 value or $50 savings for that start kit. And the person who enrolls that gets some extra cash between $5 and $15. Now I know that doesn't sound like much, but this is what that means overall, is when you enroll a silver, you get a bonus of $105. And so when you enroll a gold pack, you get a bonus of $210. And when you enroll platinum, you get a bonus of $415. And so overall, that's a really nice bonus for the company. And part of that as well is if you're the top enroller out of each global market, so that's the top enroller, whether it's in the US, Mexico, Japan, etc., you can earn yourself an extra $2,500 by doing that. So let's get out, make some enrollments, and people get a free start kit, and as well as people can get paid for that as well. So those are all the announcements I had tonight. So right now, you guys are going to hear from Bridget Norrie. So she's a Pro 6 in the LifeVantage business. We met Bridget and Jeremy when we first were introduced to LifeVantage. They're a great model of consistency, a great model of constantly staying involved with their business, and just overall great people to get to know and hang out with. And so, Bridget's got a background in nursing. At this point in time, she's been able to just kind of go to PRN as she needs to with nursing and do it as she wants, and then just sticks with LifeVantage, and I'm sure keeping Jeremy in line most of the time. And so she's going to talk to you tonight about what to do on a daily basis in your business to help achieve success. All right, thanks.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Greg. Shout back out to you. This couple here has motivated a lot of people in this business. They're out there working. They're both business-minded people. They know how to run a business. They've both done it. Shauna's done several businesses, and they just are the knowledge that they have and their actions in this business have taken them to Pro 7 and earning a Jeep. So guys, we are so blessed to have you on our team and to be training with us. It's an honor for me to train right beside you guys every single week. Love you too. So daily methods of operation. We figured it was very, very important to talk about this because we are in another amazing promotion right now. I'm so excited. LifeVantage saw what happened in March Madness, how people's business exploded because of March Madness. So they are doing another promotion for us. So now we get to earn extra money when we enroll new distributors, and they get that free starter kit, that new free $50 starter kit, which is awesome. I'm excited. So we felt it was important to go over, guys, what we need to be doing on a daily basis to get those people, talking to people. Guys, Jeremy and I have been in the business for 5.5 years. We are Pro 6s. You guys, we hit Pro 6 in 9 months in our business. So, something's got to change here. We're ready to roll to the next level. We know how to do it. And these daily methods of operation are what's happening to us right now, which is what is making us get out there and talk to people and keep conversations going, guys. If you don't have an intention on a daily plan, it isn't going to happen. You're going to let life come and go, and it's going to be another month goes, another day goes by, another week goes by, another month goes by, and that's what happens. That's exactly what's happened. I'm living proof of that, guys. So this is why I feel it's so important to go over this with you guys. First and foremost, something that I heard Lindsay Susie talk about a couple weeks ago or a few weeks ago on the team call is every Sunday making her list. Guys, that's huge. If you wait to do it every single day, that day might come and go again, just like I talked about. If you sit down intentionally and write down who you're going to talk to all week long and break that down to who am I going to talk to Monday? Who am I going to talk to Tuesday? And that list, what I'm talking about is probably more for new contacts. For me, it's more new contacts because I've gone through a lot of my warm markets. But people that I've never talked to before, I might go to Facebook. I might look through and see who on Facebook that has a connection with me or that I haven't talked to before. Or I go through and look at posts that people are posting and be like, okay, I'm going to comment on this. And this is somebody that is on my list. So make that list. Write down those 5 people, anywhere from 1 to 6 new contacts every single day. Okay, so make sure you have that list on Sunday full of however many. If you're a walker, you're a runner, you're a flyer, however many you need to talk to on a daily basis, get that list made so you can talk to them. The other people you're going to have on that list are people maybe that you've already talked to. I had to go back to our product page, our customer page, and go back and look and see who I added. I'm like, oh man, I'm going to follow up with them. So they might be somebody on your list to talk to for that week. So just really start finding time on a daily basis to do that, and making that list is super duper important. If you're brand new, it's going to be a lot easier to make that list. And I say that because you're going to be talking to friends and family. So you're just going to start jotting anywhere from 7 to 20 names down to talk to that week. Okay. It depends on whether you want to walk, run, or fly, but write those people down. This is what happened to me. If I wrote down that list of 100 people and I sat it in front of me that Monday morning, I'm like, okay, who am I going to talk to? Arrange it so you're only going to talk to a handful of them or 1 to 2 of them every single day. Otherwise, you get overwhelmed. You can't follow up with all of them. If you shoot out a message to 20 people in one day, it's hard to follow up with. So really make it more organized. That's what I found is helping me a lot more, is to be more organized and to break it down into who you're going to talk to every single day. It depends, and I would recommend taking anywhere from 15 to 30 minutes every single day to do that. Reach out to that person that's on your list. You might have to get on Facebook and comment on somebody's photo or something to get a conversation starting. And maybe you come up to somebody and say, hey, they might have commented on something that you posted, and you're going to say, hey, how are you? What are you up to nowadays? And then take that conversation. I recommend trying to get that conversation on a personal message instead of on your post, but get that conversation in a personal message or a text message, and just ask them how they're doing and be thinking about them. Be more interested in them before you are interested in telling them about what you're doing nowadays. Kind of find out what they're doing. I had a conversation recently that she asked me what I was doing, and I said, I don't have to work full time at the hospital anymore. I'm loving it. I'm able to help other people. And then she started talking about something else. So we talked about that for multiple texts back and forth till she finally said, because I mentioned something about taking care of healthy people versus sick people. Now I get to do that. And she says, well, what are you doing? So the next step to that is, well, I have a video of you. I'd like to share a web page with you. So you have a conversation with people, you introduce them to it, and then you share a tool with them. Okay, so pick that tool out. The biohackandactivate.com is probably the best tool right now to get people started. If they're asking more questions about what does it do for this or what does it do for that, get them on the Facebook page. So connect them to the tools that they need. It might be a video off the app, something like that. So get them to a tool, and then when they start asking questions, get them with your team. Somehow get them with your team, whether that be a three-way call, get them on a 2-on-1, go have coffee with your mentor and you and them. Put them on a webinar that we do, a Zoom that we do every week, or get them to a live meeting. So if you take those steps, you do those things every single day, your week will be full, and you can, like I said, 15 to an hour every day, intentionally sitting down and doing that will make the biggest difference in your business. I'm telling you, I'm living proof of it. And the other thing I would recommend is doing that hour, that 15 minutes first thing in the morning, because if you do other things, like they said, I have to keep track of Jeremy. That's his business, actually. So if I do that first, that day might come and go again. It's 3 o'clock and I have to go get my kids, and then I miss out on my hour of my business, and that's my own fault. So that's my recommendation to you. DMOs every day. I'm going to throw it over to Shauna. Shauna's got some exciting things to share with you. We've got a new income disclosure statement. She's going to talk about that, how to use that tool, and some other things that are happening. So Shauna, thank you so much for all of your leadership and what you bring to our team. So take it over.
Thanks, Bridge. Guys, I love it. Okay, I have to share something quick. I think that was the first time Greg's ever shared his story from his perspective, like in front of me, that I was able to hear. And I love that. I hope that every single one of you are able to have as supportive spouse as mine. Let me just say that. He's pretty phenomenal, and I've been pretty blessed. And I would also say that if you are going to Kansas City, I hope every single one of you are on the call going to Kansas City, but I also hope that every single one of your team that can possibly get there is going to Kansas City. But I would encourage you to bring your spouse, because that's when Greg and I really saw the vision, is when he came to Elite Academy with me. And we were able to walk away and say, this is big for our whole life. You know what I mean? This is huge for us. We didn't quite understand what that was, but that's all I want to say about that. Here's what I'm going to talk about. If you haven't heard about what happened with Advocare, I want to bring that up and I want to talk about it. So Advocare is a 28-year-old company, and they are a giant in the network marketing world. They really are. And what just happened on Friday was the corporate staff of their company put out a statement that they were closing the multi-level marketing distribution of their company. So the only people, you can still sell to customers, and customers can still get their product, of course, but they are taking away the distributorships, basically. You can only sell to customers, okay? And I want to talk about that because I don't want I want people to know what the difference is, why that maybe happened. I don't know exactly, nobody knows the letter that they put out, nobody knows exactly why, but we know it was an FTC issue. That's all we know, it was an FTC issue. But I want to talk, so I looked up the FTC rules today because I've been thinking about this for over the last couple of days, obviously, because my heart goes out to every single distributor with Advocare, honestly. Think about what we have here at LifeVantage and how it has changed like our complete lives, right? Some of you, it's already changed our complete lives, and all of a sudden, their residual income just got taken from them, the majority of it. They will still have some residual income coming direct from customers, a few of them, but unfortunately, it was apparent that a lot of Advocare sales went directly to distributors and not to customers. So their sales are not going to be maybe as much. Of course, some of their distributors will continue to order product, but their income is going to go down considerably. But so the rules of the FTC, guys, this brings me back to a conversation I just told Greg today. I said, I just keep remembering this conversation in my head. So February of 2017 is when I went to the Pro 5 Summit with LifeVantage. And the craziest thing happened to me there. A lot of you who may have heard the story that I had dinner with Darren Jensen when I was there. And I did. But how that happened was Jill and Skip Campbell, our Pro 10s and our team, had invited me over to sit with them and Darren Jensen and his wife. I have no idea why they chose me, but I was super thankful. But what I remember now is this conversation that happened. I would just listen to this conversation because I didn't know enough to even talk about it, to be honest with you. But Darren Jensen, our CEO, used to sit on the board of directors for the Direct Selling Association. And he was talking amongst these Pro 10s, right, about how he knew that network marketing companies were going to have to change their structure or their ways, as he called it, if they were going to stay in business. And I remember him now that all this came up, talking about such things as people were going to have to be able to prove on their books that the majority of their revenue was coming to direct to consumer purchases. Okay, so that was one thing. And I remember him saying, I'm not worried about that because LifeVantage has always been about 80% customers, the total revenue of the company. So he said, I'm not even worried about that. That's been that way since day one. But that also makes me think how grateful we are that we have the structure that we have, that we ship our products directly to our customer, right? Because then everything on the books, they see it very clearly that that's going to customers, right? It's not like we inventory it and then have to resell it, okay? So that's one thing that the FTC, they're trying to protect consumers. That's what FTC is doing without fraudulent behavior from companies. So that makes me super happy. The other thing is product claims can get companies shut down. Product claims certainly can get companies shut down. So that's why we at LifeVantage don't make a lot of public social media posts, right? And we don't talk about all the things. We really stick to the studies, right? That's what we do. And the good thing is, what sets us so much apart is we have those studies. So while we don't have to make claims, we just point to those, right? So we just have to be really careful about not making claims. And we don't do that. I mean, our team certainly doesn't do that, so that's awesome. The other thing is what Bridget already brought up, is a lot of companies make grandiose opportunity claims, right? Money claims, what's gonna happen, you're gonna get in and you're gonna make $1 million. I call that, when I talk to a guest, I say, I'm going to tell you right up front that this is work, that everything worth having takes effort. And I think we do a really good job, especially on this team, and LifeVantage as a whole, but especially on this team, of not promising the moon. We give people very realistic expectations, and think about our units, right? People are choosing how much time they want to commit, and we're telling them, okay, if you're willing to commit this is probably what you're going to get. That's laid out in our units for people. So we are doing such a great job in making sure that we don't have crazy income claims. However, you can make crazy money with LifeVantage, right? In fact, all of that just went up. If you guys don't know where to find this, can you see my screen, Bridge? Give me a thumbs up. Okay, perfect. If you don't know where to find this is the bottom of the lifevantage.com, your referral site. Clear down at the bottom. There's a link there, or it's also in the library of your back office, okay? You can find this and print this. I oftentimes, guys, so what I would do if I were you is I would go find this and I would copy the link and I would save it in the notes of your phone, because I send this all the time digitally as a tool, okay? So this is our earnings claim statement. And right down here at the bottom, I want to point out the fine print, right? It says, this disclosure is intended to provide truthful, comprehensive information regarding the income earned by LifeVantage distributors. A copy of this disclosure must be presented to prospective distributors anytime distributor compensation is presented or discussed. Okay, so anytime you talk about earning potential, you should really follow it up by sending this link so that they know that it's accurate, okay? I just want to point this out, guys. Everything above Pro 3 went up. Everything above Pro 3 went up. That means that the average Pro 3, Pro 4, Pro 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10 are all making more last year than they even did the year before, which is really, really cool, right? I love that. I'm also going to point out, guys, the income potential. Let's talk about that. $636 a month on average as a Pro 3. That changes someone's life, guys. That's something we need to tell people. We don't have to promise $12,000 a month, guys. I know in the middle of Nebraska as a part-time gig, $636 on spare time efforts is huge in families' lives, right? Sure, we can need to point out the premier ranks of somewhere between $1,400 and $6,200 a month. That's income replacing money, right? We don't even, I mean, yes, you want to talk about an elite distributor, but guys, you realize that our compensation plan, we don't even have to go there necessarily when we're presenting that information. We can say, look what we have and how achievable this is. I love that they added this column clear on the right. It says the average number of months to achieve this rank. So on average, it took a Pro 3, all the Pro 3s in the company, on average, it took them 11 months to hit that rank. So what if it took someone a year? What if it took them a year to set up a residual income of $636? Would that be worth it? That's the kind of questions you need to be asking your guests. Would that be worth it to you? Because that's realistic, that's truth, right? And what about if it took you, right, the average Pro 6, 26 months? Bridget was way above average. How many months did you say you did? 18 months or something, right? So, or 9 months, something crazy fast, yes. So think about that, like 2 years, okay? That's almost 2 years, a little over 2 years. What if it took you 2 years to make $6,200 residually? every single month. Guys, I only want to bring this up because I think it's really important to use this tool and use all of our tools, but I think it's also important that you guys understand while it's super tragic what happened to Advocare, I don't want any of you to think that LifeVantage is in jeopardy, right? I would say that I don't know what the reasons are, but they weren't following the rules is the reason it changed, okay? That's period. I don't want to make any speculations. That's plain and simple. I will tell you that that same conversation that Darren Jensen had at the table that night, somebody said, so we're already good, like to cover those laws that just changed, we're already good. And he said, why do you think when I got started, which was only 6 months prior to that conversation, he said, why do you think I already came in and tweaked the compensation plan already? We're covered, right? And so that's the cool thing. We know that because we're publicly traded, all eyes are on us all the time, and people are asking him questions constantly. And you can feel rest assured that Darren Jensen does not want this company to get shut down, and he will do everything he needs to do to keep everything kosher from that level. But let's talk about this Advocare distributors real quick, okay? I would bet that I'm sure all of us know Advocare distributors, right? Every single one of us know them. We run across them. We know them. Some, I'll just be honest, right? One of the biggest top earners lives in Kearney, Nebraska of Advocare. And so lots and lots of people around us are affected by what just happened. And the last thing that I want any of us to do is to be a shark. I want us to be human. I want us to be who we are and who we're known to be as a team, and that's to love on them. Because I heard Ray Higdon say today in a live video about this topic, it's almost like if you want to be a shark, going after the widow when her husband just died the night before. That doesn't sound too good, does it? It doesn't sound like anything we would want to do, right? Now, there will be some widows who go out dancing the night her husband died, right? I mean, true, right? Some of them might be like, man, I was kind of waiting for that to happen. I was ready to leave a long time ago, but I couldn't leave that income, right? There might be some people like that out there. But the majority of people are probably going to be more just sad, right? Just sad and don't know what to do next. So I want to tell you about a little conversation that I already have. I reached out to a friend of mine who was an Advocare distributor. And back when I had my store, which was like at least 6 years ago at this point, I knew she was making a couple $1,000s with Advocare. And so I figured it had grown since then, right? And I just reached out to her and I said, girl, I just heard the news. I am so sorry. Now that I understand what residual income is, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry what just happened. And she said, thank you so much. And I said, did you have any idea this was going on? And she said, no. And we just had conversation, right? And I said, what are you going to do? I said, I know your family's going to be greatly affected. What are you going to do? And she said, I don't know. I said, do you think you'll ever go back to work, or are you going to look for another stay-at-home gig? Guys, I wasn't thinking to talk to her about LifeVantage right then. That's the last thing I was thinking. I was just wanting to know, is there anything I can do to help you? And she said, I'll never go get a job again, now that I've had a taste of this, right? And I said, this is what I said to her. I said, well, then I just want to put it out there that I'm going to throw my name in the hat, that you promise me that you'll listen to what we're doing, because I happen to think that this might be a great fit for you, and it's been wonderful for us, before you make a decision. And she texts back, absolutely. Right? And so that's the kind of conversations we need to have with people. There's millions of people right now, distributors with Advocare, that have no idea what they're going to do next. They don't. LifeVantage could be a wonderful fit for a lot of them because their belief system already lies, health and wellness. But we also want to be very careful. So here's a couple things not to do maybe, is don't make a big public post on Facebook. Like, I don't think any of you would, but I'm just going to put it out there. Don't make a big public post on Facebook about like, so sorry, Advocare distributors, I have a great opportunity for you, right? Like, don't do that. You want to have personal messages. Talk to our friends, right, and have personal messages out to them. Jeff, I'm seeing your face, and I just remember that you used to be an Advocare. That I just remembered that when I saw your face. So, there's just a lot of people going to be affected, right? So we just have to have personal conversations. So don't be a shark. Have true conversations with people. put yourself in their shoes of what just happened, right? But also know that this is an opportunity, not to say Advocare was bad, but here's an opportunity for them to be part of something absolutely extraordinary in LifeVantage, right? Period. Maybe this was a blessing in disguise for some of them, that they can now join a company and ride that wave to $1 billion. Advocare was already there, right? And so they were at those stable companies that we talked about, only growing, 1 to 2% every year the last few years. They weren't like going leaps and bounds. So maybe this is the blessing that some of them were looking for. And don't be afraid also to put your name in the hat, okay? That them to join you, or at least listen. That's what I want to say, because guys, what we have at LifeVantage, look, our income's going up, our income disclosure statement's going up, our product line's extraordinary. We have a product that is literally extends life. Who doesn't want that? I was actually just reaching out. I'm going to tell you one last little story before we end tonight. I was just reaching down to a customer, asking her, hey, how are things going, right? As we should do on a regular basis. How are things going? And she told me this great story about how things are kind of changing for her. I didn't realize it was helping me, but now I realize it was helping me. And I said, are you loving reading all those stories in that Facebook group? She goes, I love those stories. I said, all right, I'm going to put it out there. Who do you know? I said, let me just ask you, who do you know that wants to live healthier longer? She texted back, everybody. I said, because that's what our flagship product is proven to do, right? Like literally the only proven natural product on the planet to do that. And she said, I guess I didn't think about it that way. And I said, so now I'm going to ask you, would you ever be open to the opportunity of helping us share this with others? She said, I would. And I said, so do you have a half an hour to watch an overview video, right? Do you have a half an hour to watch an overview video that's going to tell you about the company, the products, and how we do the business? She said, I do. And right before this call started, she said, all right, I watched the video. And I said, okay, I have a team call at 8:30 to 9 o'clock. Can I call you right after? She said, please do. That's literally how simple this can be, though, guys. If we follow the TEL roadmap, right? Do the daily actions that Bridget talked about, but follow that TEL roadmap. We expose them. We use the tools to educate them. We show them the overview, and we get them on a 3-way chat, right? So the chat tonight is going to be me and her. And I already told Jamie Williams, because this person happens to be in Jamie Williams' business. I said, Jamie, I'm going to be, like dialing you in so that we can make that connection as well. And so that's how we do this. Likely, I'm not going to lie, I bet we have a distributor by the end of the week, because she doesn't even know that there's free start kits and the Anniversary Mania. So why not get started today? Capitalize on that, right? Guys, that's how simple this can be. If we know what we have our hands on and we talk about it with that much posture and we just ask. You notice I just said, who do you know who would like to live healthier longer? Would you want to help me share that with them? That's it. That's all this is going to take. Guys, what we have our hands on is not only completely legal, right? And the FTC we're so good there, but we have something that is changing people's lives. And like Greg said, it's giving us choices, all of us choices. But we have to grab a hold of it, and we have to do something every day. We have to be so intentional with our actions, because you absolutely have to do your part. You have to do your part. This is not a money tree. I say it all the time to people. This is not throw your money in and go shake the tree and hope for the best, right? No, this is do the daily activity, or nothing will ever change, period. Do your part. Okay, that's all I have. Anybody have anything to add before I leave? Awesome. Okay, thank you so much. I think that's a wrap for tonight. I'll see you next Sunday.